Entonces tenemos grandes cantidades de prácticas culturales que vienen muy ligadas a lo que pensamos.
We have a large quantity of cultural practices that are very linked with what we think about food when we make it. The festivities where we do all of our cultural practices are what unites us. When political parties arrive, for example, they separate us. They add us to their different political groups and divide the entire community. They divide us, but when we make these cultural practices, for example, a gremio or religious ceremony, everyone in the community unites. You aren't rejected because you're from another religion or different political party. Everyone gets together in the same place, a point where we all unite. So our cultural practices are really important. But above all, because when we eat, we think about what we are eating and about what we are thinking when we are preparing the food. There's this belief that when you make a certain kind of food, for example, these pumpkin seed balls, that are kind of like meatballs. Well, when they make these meatballs, the women who make them keep them in a house where nobody can leave and nobody can enter. Because if someone visits the house, the balls will be seen and will get ashamed and will fall apart and won't keep their shape.
Entonces, por ejemplo, aquí estamos, se está sacando lo que es el relleno negro.
There are a ton of beliefs that are related with traditional gastronomy. For example, right now they are removing the relleno negro from the ground from the traditional celebration of San Francisco de Assisi. When they are getting ready to bury the food in the ground to cook, not just any person can do it. There's a certain type of person who they say has cold hands, so they don't allow this type of person to help bury the food, because since they have cold hands, it won't cook very well, or it will spoil. They say, no, you have cold hands, don't come any closer. This is the ideology that they have, well, that we have. And there are some people who have cold hands and that the food won't cook well if they help cook it. There are many beliefs like this. For example, when they're making chicharrón, or fried pigskin, and a pregnant lady passes by, when they see her, they tell her to come so that she can stir the frying pigskin so that it doesn't go bad, so that it doesn't end up all sticky. Because if a pregnant woman passes by, the chicharrón starts to coagulate, but if she stirs it, it doesn't. These are some of the many beliefs that exist and are of the points that unite us in our culture. Our identity is something that every time brings us together.
Las tantas creencias que existen y son uno de los puntos que nos hacen unirnos como cultura, nuestra identidad, que cada vez nos une.